Portland's real estate market continues to see lots and lots of price reductions, and we saw a small improvement in mortgage rates. Are buyers taking advantage? Well, let's take a look at our local stats and trends. Hey everybody, RRMilligan here, bringing you the very latest in our local real estate stats and trends. The sample that I'm working with is for the full Portland metro area, including Southwest Washington. This report is a somewhat broader survey, and it's also a pretty quick video. So if you want to know what's going on in a specific area, feel free to reach out to me directly or just drop a line in the comment section and I'll get back to you right away. The average sale price was up 2% over the previous week and up 2.3% over roughly the same week last year. That's coming off of a 1.7% decline the week before. But if we take a step back and look at our broader survey, sale prices for the month of June so far are up 1.9% compared to 2024. That's a pretty decent increase considering the pretty modest year-over-year gains that we saw during the previous 2 months. Prices were only up 0.6% in April and 0.5% in May. It is a pretty capricious market that we're dealing with, so we'll just have to wait and see if these gains can hold through the end of the month. The supply of homes for buyers to purchase continues to rise, but we still seem to be keeping pace with the gains that we're seeing last year at this time. Buyers had about 33.2% more homes to choose from compared to last year. The previous week, that difference was 33.9%, so not much change, and that's kind of in the range where we've been seeing the numbers for the last several weeks. Sellers are more active than last year at this time. We have been seeing more homes hit the market than last year for about 7 weeks straight now. That's part of the reason for this rising inventory. Looking at the demand side of the equation, the number of new purchase contracts agreed to by buyers and sellers was up from the previous week, landing toward the higher end of what we've been seeing over the past several weeks. And another metric, the number of lockbox opens, is one of our measures of activity for high intent buyers, folks that are out looking at homes with their agents. That number was surprisingly high compared to what we were seeing last year at this time. Number of lockbox opens was up by about 8.5% in our most recent report. So there seem to be more buyers out there looking at houses, at least compared to last year. Price reductions were still pretty high for the second week in a row, hitting almost 1,000 this last week. The previous week, if you remember, it was 1,010 that we saw. For a little bit of context, I looked back at my notes at last year, and the number of weekly price reductions we were seeing at this time of year were somewhere in the 600s to 700s, so a lot more this year versus last year. Bank-owned and pre-foreclosure homes haven't changed much after peaking a few weeks ago. We currently have about 75 bank-owned and 40 pre-foreclosure homes on the market. That's out of more than 11,000 active and pending homes currently on our market. So not a big percentage. The notice of default is one of the first steps in the foreclosure process and something that I do monitor. That being said, I just haven't seen any big increases over the last few weeks. Now on to mortgage rates. After a pretty mild inflation report this week, the yield on the 10-year Treasury dropped a bit and mortgages followed suit. On Thursday morning, I found the 30-year fixed advertised in Portland for 6.5% with a little over a half a discount point. I suspect that we might see a small improvement in rates by Friday morning based on what the markets were doing Thursday. As always, I'll check the rates again right after I post this video on Friday, and I will drop a line in the comment section and let you know what I found. So to sum it up, supply is still rising, sale prices were showing a little bit of zest, buyer demand is still holding on, and mortgage rates showed a small improvement, maybe with a little bit more to come. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, if you have any questions at all, feel free to drop me a line or post the question in the comment section here. I'll be sure to follow up. Otherwise, have a great weekend, and I will see you right here next week.